Change your diet, change your life, change the planet.
Good morning, Tim Van Orden here with the Running Raw Project. I'm out doing a boot run behind my house in this beautiful old-growth hemlock forest. It's one of my favorite places to come because it's just green and lush and awesome, even in the winter. It's kind of like the forest in the Star Wars movies where the Ewoks lived, you know, the big green awesome trees. Although the trees are not as big here, it's still Ewok-y to me. So I'm out here thinking about Luke Skywalker and Yoda, and how much I disliked Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars movies, because he was a whiny little biatch. He was always complaining and miserable and didn't want to try, and he was quick to temper and reactive and always did everything wrong. And if it wasn't for Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi guiding him, he would have failed and he would have sucked and he would have been a little punk. Well, he was a little punk, but thanks to their guidance, he actually matured into the hero. And this is the hero's journey, where someone starts out as a whiny little punk, gets mentored, and then finds their way towards character and heroism. Eventually takes a stand and accomplishes great things. Well, in the videos that I make, I have to show you the whiny little biatch in me, and I also have to show you the Yoda or the Obi-Wan in me. I've got to show you both. If I just show you the Luke character, if I'm always just complaining and whining, you won't watch my videos and you won't benefit from them because it'll just be venting, and there's no point to that. But if I just show you the Obi-Wan or the Yoda, then you don't see the journey, you don't see the process, you don't see the downs, you just see the ups. And that's boring and lame, and it's not really practical because you don't see the process. And I know a lot of you don't like the Luke part of me, but I have to show you that for the other aspects, for the tools to make sense. If you don't see me falling, seeing me stand up won't really help you much. You got to see how you go from falling to standing. And that's what Star Wars is all about. Even though we may not like Luke and we may not like characters that fall down all the time, when they do finally rise up, we cheer and we're like, yeah! And we see that it's possible for us too. We see ourselves in them. But then we also have other movies, characters like James Bond, who's always cool, always calm, always collective, and we don't ever see his growth. He's already full grown when the movie starts. And we like that, we want to be like that, but we don't see the path to get there. They never show us how to become James Bond. They just show us that James Bond is really cool, and we go around wanting to be just like him but not knowing how to get there. What was he like as a kid? Did he get beat up in school? All we see is the psychopath. And yes, James Bond is a psychopath. He's a violent, psychopathic killer. That's one of the reasons people are attracted to him. For some reason, human beings love psychopaths. We're drawn to them. Now, there are good psychopaths and there are bad psychopaths. There's a great book out by, I think his name is Daniel Dutton, all about how we can learn from psychopaths and the benefits and positivity of psychopathic behavior if it doesn't manifest in violence. So what are these characteristics? Calm under pressure, cool, collective, can see what ingredients are available to use to get out of any situation, like MacGyver, like James Bond. You calmly look around, okay, what's there? Oh, I'll use this, boom, and then calmly engage and get out of the situation without a sweat. Great martial artists, psychopaths. They're calm, collective. Yoda, psychopath. Obi-Wan Kenobi, psychopath. They were calm under pressure. There was no remorse. They just simply acted, and then they moved on, and they didn't complain, and they didn't whine, and they didn't make a story, and they were in the moment. Athletes, psychopaths. You've got to be if you want to be a top athlete, but not a violent one necessarily. Maybe you're somewhat violent in competition, but it's not about killing someone. It's about behaving calmly under pressure and feeling no remorse and taking action and not being afraid to make a move or to strike. Business leaders, psychopaths, same thing. You can't flinch. You can't let things get you down. You've got to move forward no matter what. You've got to stand up no matter what. You've got to take a look around every time you get knocked down, assess the situation, grab whatever ingredients you can in that moment and use them. But how do you get there? How do you become a friendly psychopath? How do you become a successful, nonviolent psychopath? Well, you start out as Luke, and you build your way up. And it's not about killing people. It's about overcoming the story. It's about overcoming your hang-ups. It's about overcoming the things that hold you back. And they're inside of you. They're not outside of you. Because any psychopath will tell you that as long as you're cool in here, you can always find a solution out there. But when you're freaking out in here, it doesn't matter how many solutions present themselves. You will still fail. So what I'm showing you is how to become cool, calm, collective, and creative under fire when you get knocked down. That's been my journey. And maybe I am a psychopath, but I'm a positive one. I'm a friendly one. I'm a compassionate one. And I'm one that's interested in your growth and the healing of our society and our culture and possibly of this world. That's what I use my creativity for. Not to hurt people, but to help people. All right, I'm going to go run some more and think about Luke and Yoda and all that fun stuff.